Hey y'all, it's Bailey with Reclaim Grace. Happy New Year's to you. I am so looking forward to 2025 and I appreciate all your support you have showed me these past couple months on YouTube. In today's video, I'm kind of in limbo between projects and don't have anything quite finished for y'all. So I'm going to show you a furniture makeover I just finished up. I picked up this piece from Salvation Army for $30. So it was a really good deal and it's a really good before and after. Y'all let me know what y'all think and we're going to get started right now. So here is the piece of furniture I picked up from Salvation Army. Like I said, $30. It has a lot of solid wood, but it also has a laminate top. There's some damage on the side right here that I needed to fix, and along the edge of the bottom. The hardware for sure has to go. They're using some little pull strings to get the drawers open. I'm going to show you the brand right here. It's not really high quality, but it's still that mid-century modern vibe, and that sells very well for me, especially if I do a two-tone finish. So we're going to get this cleaned up. I'm showing you the damage on this side, and we're going to get started. For any of my new subscribers, this is Roscoe. This is my beautiful puppy dog. He is my only child, and y'all will see him quite often in my videos. He is a pure love. So, Mama, if you're watching this, look away. I'm using my brand new vacuum cleaner that my mama gave me for Christmas to vacuum out the inside of this dresser. There was tons of dust bunnies, and I thought that was a piece of wood I was vacuuming up in the back, and y'all, check this out. I grabbed it, a dead mouse, a dead, dried up mouse. This is why you always, I did go wash my hands after I finished this. This is why you always need to vacuum out your pieces, because mice love to live and make little homes in the back of your furniture pieces and underneath it. And there is nothing worse than getting a dresser fixed up beautiful and then go to lift it into its new owner's vehicle and there be spider webs and cobwebs underneath it. So make sure you get the bottom of your furniture pieces as well. So typically when I clean furniture, I just use hot water and Dawn and a microfiber rag, and I'm going to wipe down everything really well. Dawn is a great degreaser, and it gets rid of any old furniture polish and just the residue on people's hands. As I'm cleaning, I'm going to take the dresser drawers out, and when I take them out, I'm going to label them. Like this one, for instance, is top right. Then I will take the next one out and label it middle right. Especially older pieces, they're not built exactly, perfect. So the drawers might be a little off, and it's just a hassle trying to figure out which drawer fits in which opening. So that was a picture of my dirty water. We're going to move on to sanding. This is one of the top two drawers. Like I said, I want to do a two-tone finish on this. So my top two drawers, I'm going to sand back to raw wood. I think I'm using a 220 here because this is pretty thin veneer and I do not want to blow through the veneer. So I'm just taking my time. This is a little sped up. So just take your time whenever you're sanding. Be careful around those edges because that is where you're more than likely to blow through the veneer. And here is how that drawer looks after we got that top coat and stain sanded off. Now, while I have the sander out, I'm going to go ahead and scuff sand the rest of the piece. I'm really going to scuff up this top because it is laminate and it is slick. And I want just to create some micro texture that my paint can grab onto. I'm using a 120 grit here going all over the top surface. I applied some Bondos into the repairs I showed you at the beginning of the video, and also these two bottom drawer hardware holes. They were a weird size that I couldn't find any cool or the hardware that I wanted to put on this in, so I'm going to create new holes. So I just filled those in with Bondo. It did take a couple coats of Bondo. Sometimes you do not get it on the first round. Now that all of my sanding is done, I'm going to come back in with my mister bottle and a clean microfiber rag and get rid of all that sanding dust. I'm looking at myself in this video and I'm like, Bailey, you dress like a hobo when you are in your shop. Like paint all over my clothes, hearing protection on, pants that are ripped, socks that are over my pants. Y'all do not judge me. This is just my shop clothes. There's no need of getting my pretty clothes all messed up because that will happen. As you can see, I'm just continuing to wipe off all that sand and dust, and now we are getting ready to prime. I sanded back to bare wood on some areas. We have Bondo. There's many textures we need to get covered, so that's a good reason to prime in my book. I love using this shellac base primer. It's kind of expensive, but it's a really, really good choice. I poured some into a plastic wrapped tray just so I don't have to worry about cleanup, and I'm going to use a roller to apply it. Do not use your good paint brushes when applying this primer because it's very hard to clean up. So I'm just going to apply a couple coats of primer. I'm going to sand in between coats. This primer dries very quickly, so by the time I'm done applying the primer all over, I can pretty much gum right back in, sand, and apply the second coat. Here is how it is looking after one coat of primer. I can feel texture whenever I run my hand across it. So I'm just going to use some 220 sandpaper and quickly go over this primer and just get off any texture from that roller. Some dust might have landed on top of it as it was drying, and just make sure it has a nice smooth finish before I apply my second coat. I also at this time put a second coat of Bondo, on top of my drawers. So, my friend is recording me here, and he is a rocker, but here was my idea at first. I wanted to paint this dresser green. I fell in love with this bayberry color by Fusion, but after I applied the first coat, it was not speaking to me. So sometimes you just have to pivot like that and do what the dresser wants you to do. I love a green color dresser, but it just wasn't for this dresser. So I sanded that first coat of green down just back to a smooth finish. And while I had it jacked up on the side right here, I added some of these glider feet to the bottom, added 2 on each side. This will just help the bottom panels from soaking up moisture since that is MDF. Also, while I had it on the side, I sanded back that, what is that, a toe kick on the bottom to bare wood, and I wanted to paint wash that. I have a 50-50 mixture of water and oakum by Fusion. I'm just applying with a paintbrush. Once I get that applied, I'll come in with a blue shop towel and wipe off any excess. This will give it a gorgeous darker brown stain look. I flipped the dresser back over, and I'm coming in now with my absolute favorite nude taupey color. This is Algonquin by Fusion. This is an all-in-one mineral paint, and I'm using a synthetic bristle brush so I can get a nice smooth finish. And as soon as I started painting this dresser this color, I was like, yes, this is it. This is a neutral, but it's still warm and earthy, and I think it looks really good with the two-tone wood detail that I'm adding to this dresser as well. So when I'm applying this paint, I just kind of put it up there at first, and then I always try to finish in nice long strokes. If y'all have not tried out Fusion Paint yet, I highly, highly recommend it. It goes on like butter. It's so silky and smooth, very, very user friendly, and it's an all-in-one. It has the built-in primer, it has the built-in sealer, and they have some really, really cool colors, a wide variety of colors. So I'm just going to continue putting my first layer of paint down. I'm onto my drawers now. I'm only going to paint 4 of my drawers, and I did that same 50-50 wash on the top 2 drawers. I'm going to take this time to thank y'all for being here with me today. I do not do a lot of furniture makeovers on my channel, but I do like to throw them in every now and then. It's a big part of my booth process. And if y'all are enjoying this makeover so far, please give this video a like and a comment. That really helps my channel out. And y'all leave me a comment down below and let me know what is a goal that you want to set for yourself in 2025. Mine is just to grow this YouTube channel, to get better at filming myself doing this YouTube channel stuff. Y'all let me know yours down in the comments. So I'm moving on to the sides of the drawers now. This is Howard's Feed and Wax, and this is a miracle worker. I love this stuff. It smells good, and it just performs very well and easily. This is going to condition my wood, and I'm applying it just with a wax brush, and just look at that difference. It is a huge difference. If your piece of furniture smells like smoke, this eliminates that smoke smell and gives it a nice orangey scent to your drawers in the inside of your dresser. So I like to apply it to the sides of my drawers, inside the dresser drawers, and to the rails. This, especially if they're wood on wood rails, this will help them glide so much easier. So I also take the Howard's Feed and Wax on my wax brush and do the inside of the dresser right here. This will make the drawers slide in 100 times easier. So when I went to go grab this drawer to wax the sides of it, I noticed this was pretty loose. So I went ahead and popped it out, and I'm going to squirt some glue in those dovetails in each little section, and then I will put it back together and shoot a few brad nails into the dovetails to secure it until that glue dries. Now we're going to measure for our new hardware pulls on the bottom 2 drawers. So I just found the center of the drawer, and then I measured like 1.5 to the right and then 1.5 to the left for 3-inch drawer pulls. And I did that on both of my bottom drawers. I'm just using a square here to get a better line. And then I also measured down, I think 3.5 inches on those marks. Then I will use the appropriate size drill bit to drill out my holes. Now I'm going to seal my top 2 drawers. This is how they look after I gave them that oakum and water paint wash. I forgot to hit the record button doing these 2 drawers. I'm going to seal them with polyacrylic matte. I just did one pretty heavy coat on both of the drawers. We are coming up to the finish line. After that clear coat is good and dry, I'm going to attach my hardware. I ordered these on Amazon. They are one of my go-to orders. They're in my Amazon store in the description box below. I just think they look nice and they are very cheap, in my opinion. So once I got my hardware attached, I'm going to use DIY clear wax just to add a little bit more protection to my dresser frame and body. I wanted to use a wax because it will give it that matte look, and that's what I was going for. So I'm using a large wax brush, really buffing in that wax. This was a workout, y'all. I had to come up out of that coat. I let the wax sit for about an hour, and then I will come in with my blue shop towel and buff off any excess wax. I feel like I have struggled doing this whole voiceover tonight, so y'all forgive me. Once I get all the wax buffed off, I'm going to let it cure for a little while and then slide my dresser drawers back into place. And I'm going to give y'all a little before picture, and then we will get into the final shots. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this furniture makeover. I priced it for $350, and it is still available at Coppermill Mercantile in Kinston, North Carolina. Thank y'all so much for spending your time with me today, and I'll talk to y'all in the comments. Bye.